The Nelson Mandela Foundation says yesterday's ruling is not a victory until South Africans can unite and work together. It comes after the Equality Court declared the gratuitous public display of the flag as hate speech, saying it amounted to unfair discrimination and harassment. The Nelson Mandela Foundation took the matter to court. AfriForum challenged the move, saying banning the flag will violate freedom of speech. But to help us unpack exactly what this means, we're joined by Nelson Mandela Foundation CEO Sello Hatang. Good to see you, Sello. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you very much, Leon. Good morning.
And I suppose congratulations on the ruling yesterday. A victory?
Yeah, I think we are elated about the decision, and we don't want to pretend like we didn't want this kind of decision. But what I meant by the fact that it was not a victory was that until such time that AfriForum and its followers, those who believe that waving the flag is the right thing to do, that they see the light. We can't declare such a thing a victory. So the court is part of a long process, and we hope that they can journey with us. One of the most unfortunate things that happened yesterday was that Ernst Rhodes then decided to just post the flag and said something to the effect that, I hope I've just committed hate speech or something like that.
Have I just committed hate speech? Did he? Does that constitute hate speech?
That's precisely where a gratuitous display, how the judge explained it. And I think until such time that we do what the judge said in his concluding remarks, and I want to take South Africans to that part because it's important. He said, despite everything else that he said, we should work with AfriForum, the Afrikaner Cultuur, whatever the organization is called, Pride, the Human Rights Commission, and government, for all of us to work together to ensure that those who continue to do these kind of things see the light. Now, when you then have a leader who's responsible do such a thing, you then wonder about what their intentions are, whether they actually have the same intentions that we have, which is what the judge said. Let's build South Africa that does not necessarily get divided around race.
Yeah. So I want to get a little bit of clarification, I think, as much as South Africans do, when it comes to displaying it. We heard you in the news saying that if you're using the flag in a school play, that's fine. If you're using it as almost like a symbol to represent what was, where does it become illegal, or where does that break the Constitution?
Again, maybe I should take a step back so that we clear what we tried to do and how the judge got it. The judge explained first the history. He went to great lengths that this flag was passed in 1928. At the point of passing the Flag Act, it was to unite the white South Africans to the exclusion of black South Africans. It was to unite the Afrikaners and the English. And it was clear what they were doing. They were saying you are out. Now the judge then said, you see, for us to not have gratuitous display will mean that it's actually not necessary. You don't then have to waive pain that was about excluding others, and then you waive it to their faces. So for use in a drama, school drama, to display what was and to pass on a message about the history of our country, that's fine. Artistic purposes, in the academy, all those things. But then once a person then takes it to a march, and they then waive this, they go to a rugby game, like happened in New Zealand. Interestingly, we had 3 New Zealanders in our office, and their reaction was almost immediately celebrating with us, saying, now we have something to wave against those who bring it in New Zealand. And they use it in their shop, etc.
If I come into a rugby match and I'm waving the old South African flag, what will happen to me?
That's gratuitous display.
So
that's when you can then be charged for that. And the charge will be, and again, I want us to be clear that AfriForum has been using this scared tactic that says, this is banning the flag. No. The judge said, we are not banning the flag. Because when you ban it, it means you can't even use it in a school play. You can't use it in the academy. All those things will then be banned. It's restricted to where it's absolutely necessary that it can be used. So you can then be charged. And that charge will be for you to be fined, for you to be conscientized about our history, to be even conscientized about why racism hurts.
Could you be arrested for something like that?
It will start there.
Okay.
It will start there so that then there's a charge that's then laid.
So, for instance, if
But you won't be jailed.
Okay.
So and the judge was clear that there's no criminality that will then be laid against you.
So this is almost a start, and conversations are now opening. So we see all about the flag, but now the conversation has moved from the old South African flag, which is now no gratuitous displays allowed, even though you look around, it's still happening. So as you say, that engagement needs to take place, and we need to still talk about it. What about DSTEM? Because there's where a big conversation is taking place too, because one almost feels that DSTEM and the old flag goes hand in hand, and yet we still sing that and are made to sing it with pride.
You know, one of the things that I guess that South Africa consciously chose to do, the flag was a clear decision that we made. This is where we're going. We have this this new flag as our national flag. On DSTEM, we then combined 3 pieces that then made sure that as a united country, this is the kind of identity that we have. It was then legislated. That's why I think it's a conversation that we should continue to have. Do we still need this term? But in my view, because we have combined this, it's something that then means that we imagined ourselves, like the judge said yesterday, that our differences then came together. We merged this to make a one united South Africa out of this national anthem.
All right. Well, Sello, thank you. Thanks for coming in and talking to us. I know that they're nowhere near the end, and I'm sure that there's, as you say, a lot more engagement to take place, particularly with AfriForum, who went ahead there. One of their, I think, deputy CEO actually posted the flag yesterday and said, is this hate speech, after the ruling that was given in the afternoon. So there's a lot more work that needs to be done on that. Nelson Mandela CEO, the foundation CEO, Sello Hatang, saying the ruling that gratuitous displays of the apartheid era flag constitute hate speech is not a victory until South Africans can unite and work together. All right, let's take another break. We'll see you after this.